Today on Real Kiwi Fishing, I head off on a solo mish down the bays and search for some snapper off the bricks. I'll also show you a few tips and tricks that I like to use when fishing these shallow reefy areas, and we'll also take a look at the Pen SSV reels, which I think are perfect for this kind of fishing. Now for your first tip, what most people do when they put their surf casters together, they just bang, jam it on. Sometimes they even tap it down because their tips are flying off and all sorts. And what happens is at the end of the day, they're trying to get it apart, won't come apart, and they're using the guides to twist and pull and all sorts, and it's ruining your guides. So what I do is, when I'm sliding the tip on, basically that guide's straight up, that guide's out on an angle. And what I do, as it comes in tight, I then turn and twist it so it's all lined up, and that locks it in, that locks it right in tight. And what you do, what the great thing is at the end of the day when you're finished, all you do is twist and pull out, and it comes apart. So that's just easy. So all you do is slide it on an angle, guides aren't lined up yet. As it's getting tight, twist it in, pull it down, and it's locked in tight for you. Now we've got a little bit of a cross shore happening at the moment, and I can't actually get right out to my spot, right out on the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a little sinker, and that'll allow me to get out a little bit further because I'm a little bit back inshore there, and also it'll stop the my line from getting dragged in that wind. So to do my first little rig, I'm going to double my line. So a little half hitch there, and that's doubled my line there. I've got my little ball sinker, so no swivel, it's just straight to the line. Ball sinker on there, and then tie your hook straight on. Now the good thing that's happened a couple of times is I've actually caught a few snapper where I've pulled them in and they've actually bitten through one of those lines. So snappers come in, grabbed it and chewed one of those lines off the hook, and that's flailing around, and that other line's still tied up to the hook, and I've managed to get that snapper in. So that's been a bit of a bonus. So that's the rig there. So yep, just straight up and down, it'll go over that knot, don't worry about that. And that's it, just straight to the hook, and that'll just allow me to get out a little bit further. I might get snagged up and I might have to change it, but I'm getting sort of out there, and I'll follow that tide as it drops. I'll manage to get right out onto that corner there, and that'll just also, like I was saying, it'll stop the wind from pulling on my line and dragging it into the weed and rocks. So if I had no weight, I'd cast it, the wind would catch it and it would fly over sideways, and then once it hits the water, the belly and the line will start getting dragged across from the wind as well. So using a little ball sinker when there's a little bit of wind is pretty good to do. So that's pretty much it there. plenty from off the rocks. Probably takeable, but not today. A little bit small for me, but quite a cool little catch. Beautiful colour. It's got the blues going, the greens. So yeah, first bait, first fish. Not bad, little fish. Bit of fun. So my next bait is the tail. Got the tail here. So I start at the tail, right through, then halfway up, hook in, not right through, and just back out. Pull the line. Again, cotton. You'll notice after I cast my line out, I point the tip to the water. This will stop the wind from catching my line and dragging my bait sideways. And as I walk back, I still have the bail wire over, letting the line out as I walk. This stops the bait from being dragged in, so I'm not only keeping that full distance from the cast, but I'm not dragging it into the rough and getting snagged up. Side happening. What I do is I don't wind up too tight. I let that have a bit of a belly in the line. And I mean, if the fish is too small, it's going to bite the bait and stuff. So it's not too much of a worry. You just wait for that line to go tight, strike, and hook in. Here I am, lightly winding the slack, not by handle, but turning the spool. This is allowing me to judge the belly in my line to where I'm just sensing my bait. The less you make big movements, the less chance of getting snagged up. It's just come on to dark. Picked up a nice sort of, probably around 40 centimetres. So just off the rocks here. Quite a nice fish. Getting a lot of bites now, a lot of grabs. Now the fish are really coming on the bite now, coming into dark, and I'm actually missing a lot of fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a keeper hook and hope that that'll do the trick. So if you're missing a lot of fish, my suggestion would be to run a keeper hook. So I'm just putting that keeper hook on now, and it's just the same rig, double lined, and I've just grabbed a bigger hook, a 6-bar, and I'll have a 5-bar keeper hook that can run up and down that line as well. So fingers crossed, that'll do the trick. So there you have it. So there's 2 hooks there. I'll just trim off those extras and the sinker straight down to the hooks, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Not a bad fish, that one. Getting a lot of bites now, a lot of grabs, so hopefully might get a couple more. Turned out to be a magic afternoon, and with the dark really setting in and a few nice fish in the bin, I called it a day. Thanks for watching another great day out fishing with Real Kiwi Fishing, and you can also find more of my movies on my YouTube channel, Real Kiwi Fishing.